Hello, friends. Welcome once again to our channel, The Story Man. Today's story is called The Extraordinary Average. For Arjun, the 4 years of his engineering degree were less about innovation and more about survival. While his peers discussed high frequency trading algorithms and Silicon Valley internships, Arjun sat in the back row, hoping the professor wouldn't call his name. He was an average student, a 6.5 CGPA holder, who knew the theory very well but crumbled under the pressure of a ticking clock or a judgmental gaze. By the time the final semester arrived, his room was a graveyard of rejection letters. Arjun, your technical skills are great, one HR manager told him after an on campus interview. But you lack the presence we need. You are too quiet. You can't lead a team if you can't even look them in the eye. A couple of times he had overheard a few top graders of his class whispering about him among their peer groups. He's a moron. He should first learn how to speak properly. The silence in his bedroom became deafening. As the days passed by, the more he started to withdraw from the outside world. The hush-hush and the speculations about his future among his peer groups and close relatives aggravated his condition. He stopped answering calls from his old friends and close relatives. Arjun's parents were very concerned about their only child's mental state. There was nothing wrong with him as far as academics was concerned. He was among the best in studies throughout his school days. However, he was never good at socializing and never was a part of any friend circle. He was a loner who loved to dwell in his own little world. Arjun began staring at the ceiling for hours, the fan's rotation mimicking the cyclical, dark thoughts in his head. Maybe the world is better off without another average engineer, he thought. One evening after college, as Arjun sat on a park bench alone, gazing blankly at the landscape, his mind spiraling towards a final, desperate decision, a loud voice broke the fog. Arjun, is that you, man? The physics wizard from class 12? It was Samir, a childhood friend Arjun hadn't seen in several years. Samir looked different. Tired, dusty, but his eyes were bright. He told Arjun that he was running a small workshop repairing agricultural drones for local farmers. I am a failure, Samir, Arjun whispered, unable to keep up the facade up. No job, no voice, no future, buddy. Samir sat down. I'm failing too, buddy. I have the ideas, but I can't code the flight controllers to save my life. The farmers here need drones for pesticide spraying, but I'm stuck. I need a brain. I need your brain. My brain? I can't even pass an interview. Arjun replied, his voice trembling. I don't need you to pass an interview, Samir said firmly. I just need you to solve a problem. Samir didn't care about Arjun's CGPA, he cared about the drone's stabilizing algorithm. For the first few months, Arjun worked in the shadows of the workshop. But then came the day they had to present their prototype to a cooperative of 50 skeptical farmers. Incidentally, Samir was called away on an emergency that day, leaving Arjun alone with the microphone. Arjun was devastated. Yet, Gathering some courage, he stood before the crowd, his knees shaking. He felt the familiar urge to run. A farmer, a middle-aged man, asked skeptically, "Why should we trust this machine? It looks like a toy." It, it isn't a toy. It's. I built the code. I know what it's like when things don't work the way they are supposed to. Arjun's voice cracked several times in sheer nervousness. He stopped and took a breath. He stopped thinking that he was facing an interview or searching for answers towards judgmental questions from his university teachers. He was here to help these people who indeed needed his help. Gathering some amount of confidence, he spoke. "This drone doesn't care if you are the best farmer or the richest. It only cares about the precision of the spray. I designed the logic to handle the wind because I know what's it like to try and stay steady when the wind is trying to knock you down." The crowd went silent. Not because he was eloquent, but because he was authentic. That small presentation led to their first order. As the business grew, Arjun's inertia began to melt. He realized his depression had been fueled by a lack of purpose, not a lack of ability. He overcame shyness by focusing on the value he provided rather than the judgment of others. He overcame depression by replacing isolation with a partnership and a mission. He found success not by getting a job at a Fortune 500 company, but by building a company that employed people just like him, the average ones with hidden depths. 3 years after their company, Vayu Sahayak, hit its first million in revenue, Arjun was invited back to his college as a CTO of the flourishing agtech startup to address the graduating class. He stood at the same podium where he once feared to collect his degree. To those of you sitting in the front row with job offers in your pockets, congratulations, you are the engines of our industry. But to those of you in the back, the ones whose hands are sweating, the ones who feel like average is a life sentence, the ones who are looking at the exit sign and wondering if they even belonged here, I am speaking to you. 4 years ago, I didn't want it to be alive. I thought my worth was a number on a mark sheet. I thought because I couldn't speak loudly in a seminar, I had nothing to say. I was wrong. Depression told me I was empty, but the truth was, I was just unapplied. I found my voice not by practicing in front of a mirror, but by realizing that there were people, farmers in our villages, who needed my average engineering skills more than a software giant needed my perfect attendance. So your struggle with inertia isn't a flaw, it's a potential energy you haven't released yet. So dear ones, do not let your CGPA decide your fate.